Hi there, today I'd like to extend on what we've done so far on beginners intervals. You'll recall so far that we've introduced four tertial chords, or arpeggios, and they were the major, the minor, the augmented and the diminished. Okay, so we're going to extend these shapes to include sevenths, and I'll explain a little bit about how we can view this. Okay, let us again take a C major arpeggio. We've got the first, the third and the fifth. Okay, now from an intervallic point of view, it stands that we have a major third from C to E, and then from E to G is a minor third. In other words, if we take the root, go a major third from the root, and then a minor third from that third, we have a major triad, or a major arpeggio. Similarly, for the minor, if we take the root and play the minor third, the distance to the perfect fifth from the third is a major third. So we've stacked a major third interval on top of a minor third interval. So this is how they work. So if we take a minor interval from the root and then a minor interval from that, then we've got the diminished and so on and so forth. So what this means is it follows that we can actually build up our sevenths by taking a third from the fifth. Okay, so let's just again stick with the C major arpeggio, first, third, fifth. Now just for the moment consider the fifth, the G. Now if we were to take a major third from that, we've added some type of seventh in relation to the root. And so there are three sevenths that we're going to examine. The first is the major seventh, then the minor seventh, and then the diminished seventh. Recall that from the rules of intervals, if we take a major seventh interval and flatten it, it becomes a minor seventh interval. If we take a minor seventh interval and flatten it, it becomes a diminished seventh interval, which is enharmonically equivalent to a major sixth. Okay, so what we're going to do then is just consider these three types of sevenths in addition to the arpeggio shapes we've learnt so far. Okay, so I'll outline the rules of it just briefly. You'll find all the information you need in the course document on the website. But basically what happens is this: if we take a major chord and we add a major seventh, we're playing a major seventh chord. If we add a minor seventh to a major chord, we play a dominant seventh. If we take a minor chord and add a major seventh, we're playing a minor major seventh. And if we add a minor seventh, we're playing a minor seventh. And if we take a diminished and add a minor seventh, then we're playing a minor seventh with a flattened fifth. If we take a diminished seventh, then the chord is actually called the diminished seventh. And if we play a major seventh on top of a diminished triad, then we have a minor major seventh with a flattened fifth. They're basically how the rules work. So you should take note of that. The names you'll find make complete sense when you think of them in relation to the initial chord and the naming of the intervals. It's actually a lot easier to remember. But once we have these basic structures in place, we can play all different types of sevenths on the spot. Okay, so enough of the theory and the explanation. Let's just look at one example again. If I'm playing a major arpeggio, and again I'll start in C. Now if I add a minor seventh to that, I'm playing a dominant seventh arpeggio. Now if I sharpen that seventh and make it major so that it appears on the ninth fret, then I'm playing a major seventh. Okay, so we can do that in any octave. We can add the seventh to any of the shapes that we've learnt so far. Okay, so there's your dominant and your major sevenths. Similarly for the minor seventh. Okay, let's play the minor arpeggio. Add in a flattened seventh. We're playing a minor seventh. Now if we make that minor seventh interval a major seventh, we're playing a minor major seven chord. You can really hear the difference between the two. Similarly, for a diminished triad or arpeggio, which we will call as first flat and third flat and fifth. If we add a minor seventh to that, we're playing a minor seventh with a flat and fifth. If we flatten that seventh again to become an harmonic equivalent to a major sixth, as I said before, it's actually a diminished seventh interval, and there we get our diminished 7 chord. So yet again, I'm just keeping things very simple. I'm just working in one region of the neck, and I'm changing the intervals and adding them as I like, and I'm building new chords, and again, I'm not learning a heap of different shapes. I've just taken the 1 or 2 basic shapes and added or altered them somehow and been aware of the changes that I've made. And as I've said in the previous videos, this is the best way to look at chords, arpeggios, whatever, to just see how they function. And once you know your intervals, you know exactly which note you can drop in and where it lies and all that sort of thing, and you don't have to think about shapes and memorise a whole bunch of patterns and things like that. So have a go with your sevenths. If you've got any questions, email us or get onto the forum on the website. Otherwise, you'll find everything, as I said, in the notes. I look forward to continuing with other lessons after this. Alright, see you.